Yeah, just the lowdown. I know you had to have thought about this, so let's just have you take over from the I1 and I2 and just any crazy things. We heard some stuff about you and Benson, and then you started TLT. So let's dig into it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, yeah, Magic Summer one I won over
Okay.
Andy. I2 was won again by Magic Summer over Andy. um, I3 was won by, I think it was Gonzo over Vex, pretty sure. I4 was on both Thug and Thug 2, I think. So we had two tournaments running at the same time. Gonzo won over KSK. Base lost to KSK in the Thug.
You
They
nailed
were
it.
the winners. Yeah, got it.
No big deal. I guess even before then, so I kind of heard KSK side of how you guys, like how it was judged, I guess.
Yeah.
How is, from your perspective, how was these runs judged? Like, how do you take into account style and improv and like risk and all of that other stuff? Like, was there a scoring system that you had in place?
No scoring system. It was completely up to the judge what, and you're just trying to identify skill. So obviously we tried to choose the best judges we could, and yeah, it was just like, who do you think the best player is? Or but you obviously have to take into account performance. You can't just be like, well, this guy's the best player, but he had a shit run, but because I think he's the best, I'm going to vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of goes back to I I won. Like I think that the best players back at that time, even though Magic Summer won, we all just watching Andy play, we all thought he was the best. You know, we were all kind of following him, and he had the best run of the tournament in Chicago, which what was that to Cypress Hill? Was it the music? And that video was just insane. The barrel roll that he hit over the wire, I think it was, or something like that. Over the bridge, was it? Anyway, yeah. And maybe in hindsight, we should have put some guidelines in place, but for the most part, it worked pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have many people butthurt over it or anything.
Not really. Except I was pretty butthurt in I2.
You created TLT after that tournament, right?
Well, I guess it's good to mention that we created the Line Tub originally as the THPS online website. So yeah, Benson was, he was obviously creating his site using a programming language called Cold Fusion, I think it is. And back then I was kind of learning how to code and stuff, and he was helping me. And I'd kind of done a little bit previously, so I had this idea to create the Line Tub, which was just showcasing different lines for scoring, basically. And that was started by myself and a guy called Dyslexic. So yeah, we had this website as a part of Benson's website, and we did a lot of work for that. And yeah, Diz. And sorry, yeah, we created that website, and then I got pissed off with the whole I2 situation. Basically, yeah, when you look back, like there was a conflict from the outset, like me playing when I'm also running the tournament. That's kind of an issue. So, I was a bit naive. I should have avoided even the appearance of, I guess, cheating, because what I did was I changed the level in the final, which I was playing in. But what I'd started to notice is that people were starting to plan their runs. So people were releasing I2 practice videos before I2, and yes, we're all kids. and you could tell people were like trying to include sort of transfers into their runs. So it wasn't like completely planned line, but when they would when they would come up to a certain point in a level, they're like, oh, I know I've got a really good transfer here. I'm just going to include that, and that'll impress. And so it was kind of a way to cheat and to get a good score for your improv run. When we all know the best improv is when if you're coming up to an area and you've got a good transfer there, you want to try and hit a different one or a new one. That's the best improv. And so to try and counter what people were doing, I wanted to change the level up last second. But that looks so bad because if I'm in that final and I know the level ahead of time when no one else does, that's kind of shit. And so that's what created the drama. But yeah, I deliberately didn't play Chicago for months before I2 because of that, but it didn't really matter because no one knew that. How would people know that? Why would people trust blindly that I've done that? So people were really pissed off about that, and I was really pissed off about it because I knew how much work I'd put into running the tournament. Being from Australia, I had to pull some really late nights to try and get it done. As much as I loved it, because I worked so hard and I was a young kid, I thought I deserved respect, I guess. I was so hurt by that whole thing. It actually taught me a lot personally. But yes, so that was what happened. And then Andy I ended up having a really good run in the final, and Andy judged me last, and that like really pissed me off because I thought he did it to be an asshole. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. He thought that's bullshit that he knew the level ahead of time, so I'm punish him for his run. I don't know. I thought so at the time, and it really pissed me off because I knew that I didn't even get to play that level. I play online for months leading up, and I always avoided that level. So that was the final. Yeah.
So it was the very last one. So it was you versus who?
So yeah, it was a 3-way final. It was myself, Magic Summer, and Fake Shady, and so no, yeah, I think we had 4 or 5. I think 4 judges, and Andy was the only one to put me last. And I just thought at the time it was rubbish. There's no way I could be last. So yeah, I thought that was an asshole move, but who knows?
Did that actually?
So I would have won if Andy didn't do that, basically. So because Andy did that, yeah, if he put me second or first, I would have won. Which I guess it's weird looking back at it. I think overall the right person won, but for the wrong reasons, kind of thing. But yes, yeah. So there was a tie in the end because of the vote. It was between Magic Summer and I tied, and so we had a tiebreaker round in Alcatraz, and Magic Summer won that one. So that really cut me up. That did, which is so funny to say, to talk about it like that. But yeah, that back then Tony Hawk was like, I put everything into that game, and that was everything to me. And I'd obviously done heaps of work for the website, creating the Lions Hub, creating the tournament, running 2 tournaments, and I wanted Benson to back me up, and I basically gave him an ultimatum, and he didn't really want to get involved, kind of thing. Benson didn't want to choose anyone, so I was like, if you're not gonna scold Andy, basically, I'm gonna piss off and do my own thing. But yeah, I guess I had some people come along with me. Milky, I remember back in the day, he was loyal, and we were able to get some, some key players across. But originally it was just, I think I sent you a screenshot of, I think we had 9 players. Let me see if I can get it up here.
So how soon after the Chicago runs did you have to do the Alcatraz run?
It was
the
like
same day or the following day, or
it felt like a couple days later. I'm not sure, but it felt like that. But yeah, I guess. I mean, it was a pretty dramatic time. I just remember the forums were just lots of arguing, and really divided. And for the most part, I think people sided with not me, which I think was correct. If you didn't know me, I think that was probably the right thing. But yeah, I just didn't get it back then. I just didn't get it. All I knew is that I tried so hard to do this thing for the community, and I worked so hard, and it really hurt to get such negative feedback. It really hurt me a lot. And so that's I guess what caused the whole separation, which was a big deal, and it worked out for us in the end. And TXO's still going, so.
well, cool. So that sparked creating TLT. It was just you were pissed off, and you're like, "I'm gonna start this team." It's crazy that many people were just like, "Hey," so you had to have some sort of respect built up, obviously. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have ever just came on board.
Yeah, I did, I guess.
I mean, some of them literally left like the best clan at that time to join yours.